Let's step inside this .NET now, and I want to create a speed limit which will basically determine exactly how high these pieces are allowed to jump. So before my pop wrangle, I will drop down a pop speed limit, and I will place this inside our pop wrangle, and I will just enable maximum speed, and maybe I will start with a value of 3 over here. So if I preview this animation now, let's see exactly how this will affect the simulation. Okay, so we can see that with this pop speed limit node, we can control exactly how high we want these pieces to fly. And maybe a maximum speed of 3 is a little bit too little, so maybe I will increase this to 6, and let's preview this. Okay, so this is slightly better. And to get a more interesting result, we can randomize this maximum speed value per point, and we can turn on use of expression. And let's go to the beginning and reset the simulation. And if I hover this maximum speed, we can see that the parameter name is speed max. So in here, if I type speed max, I can say that this is multiply equals to a new value. And now this will take whatever value we placed in here, in this case the value being 6, and it will multiply this by a new value that we will generate now, and we want a random for each ptnum, so rand and in parentheses at ptnum, and let's fit this from 0 to 1, and in parentheses let's maybe fit this from 0.5 to 1.5. So what this essentially is saying now is that some of these pieces will have a maximum speed of 3, and some of these pieces will have a maximum speed all the way up to 9. And let's create a flipbook from this. Alright, so now we have a lot of variation in how high our pieces are flying, or rather how fast, it would be more accurate to say. One other thing I want to do here is I want to sort of tell these pieces that are really close to the center to not really have such a high force applied to them. So I would prefer them to have a little less force applied to them. So let's close this, and also here in our vexpression, let's create a new float variable here, which I will name to dist, and I want to measure the distance from the position of each point to the center of our scene. So this is exactly what we were doing all of those times in the attribute VOP, where we place a distance node and fit it to a new value. So then I can say speed max, I will also multiply equal this with a fit value, and I want to fit this distance maybe from 1 to 5, and I will remap this to 0.5 and 1. Okay, and maybe overall I will just drop down the overall speed a notch, and I will set the maximum speed to 5. So what this is saying is, let's go maybe up a level so we can also have our grid. Let's visualize our points instead. So now with the speed max, what this is doing is we have a distance stored in a float variable that's going from each point to the center. So basically when a point has a distance of 1, so maybe somewhere around this spot over here, it will have its speed cut in half by 0.5, and as it further progresses, as the distance further progresses to a value of 6, so maybe somewhere around over here, it will start increasing to its normal value of 1. So this portion over here will have its speed cut in half by using that distance that we created. Alright, let's go back and let's preview this new result, and let's make another flipbook. Okay, so now these points, or rather these pieces here in the middle, will have a little less velocity applied to them, or rather they will have their max speed reduced by half, so they won't be flying that much further outwards.